Second Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 37. It says, Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son. Within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And I like to do these types of clips and these types of lessons because it gives you a perspective on how people, the type of spirit people are in these last minutes of this devil's kingdom. And you got these devils that are in fear. Not only, are many millions, billions of people mourning on the earth, but these devils are really in mourning. They got the most to lose because after this, it's all downhill for them. They've gotten away with murder. They've gotten away with rape, robbery, genocide. They've gotten away with a lot. So they thought. Because like the scriptures say, if they were wise, they would have considered their latter end. But they wasn't. And in just this past week alone, I've seen, pretty much Satan against Satan. You got, as they call them, whistleblowers, bringing out historical facts on their own people, on their forefathers. So this place is crumbling right before our eyes, and people are in fear, especially these devils, man. Right? Especially these devils. So let me read that scripture again, and we're going to play it. This is 2 Esdras chapter 16 and verse 37. It says, Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Meaning like the judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be a recurring thing. They're not going to be one, this month you got something going on, then 3 months after that you got something going on. No, this is an everyday thing. It's not going to slack. It says, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains can pass her womb. So as a woman is ready to have her child, she has what they call them, labor pains, and them labor pains, they come back to back to back. She don't get no comfort. It's just constant pain, right? It says, which pains, when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment, meaning it don't stop. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. And that's what you're seeing. The land is in mourning. The land is afraid, meaning the people, right? The people are afraid, right? The people are in mourning. The people are angry. You see uprisings, all of that, man. It says, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. It ain't going to be nowhere that you can find comfort, man. It's not going to be anywhere that you can go and let your hair down, because everywhere that you go is going to be the judgment of the Lord waiting for you, man. The only ones that are going to be protected and hid and have peace in this time is the men of the Lord, man. Right? The elect of the nation of Israel. So let's play this. Because these devils, they at their end, man, and they're afraid. Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect be edified. Shalom.
feels like something's about to blow here in the U.S. Maybe it's just like my own anxiety, but does anyone else feel that? I don't know. I feel like we're reaching a point with this stuff now where something's about to break, and I don't know what. I just suddenly have this, like, I mean, obviously I've been extremely scared and fearful this whole time, but it feels like it's been bumped up to a whole other level. And I feel this overwhelming feeling that it's about to get really, really bad. I watched a video where they're now, not only are they going door to door in St. Paul and in areas of Minneapolis, but they're just breaking down doors now. ICE is. So, and I just feel like we don't have any leadership. We have people who are standing on the right side, but like there's no real leadership. Not to mention, I feel like if we were to go to Washington and march on Washington in the millions, who's to say that the lunatic in the White House wouldn't just order a drone to be flown overhead? And I know that's not legal. I know that like the military technically cannot be used to turn on their own citizens, but like at this point, I don't, we can't rule it out, which is crazy.
And that's the reality, man. See, people have been fed a delusion and to think that they're American, they have rights, they're good, they're safe. But now what you see war being declared on U.S. citizens by these draconian laws that are being put, and DT, Donald Trump, pretty much going crazy, man, going ham on you citizens of Babylon, man, including you Edomites, his own people. So now with this whole Minnesota and the ICE agent shot that Edomite woman in the face, now it's a whole nother aspect that people are looking at now, because these devils, they're looking at it like, man, you did this to a white woman, a so-called white woman? How could you do that? Right? That was supposed to be a so-called black woman or Latino woman. How could you do that? Showing you that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is lifting up that division and that hatred that these devils have for one another. Right? But like she said in the beginning, she's been in fear for a while, but now it just got bumped up. This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, man. So they're going to be certain weather patterns that's going to destroy this earth. But nations, meaning, other people, other nations, they're going to be, in distress. They're going to be fearful now. Right? And Salakia, let me get this word real quick. Let's get it real quick. I just wanted to get the perplexity. So it says, let's get it again. Perplexity. It says, inability to deal with or understand something complicated or uncountable. Right? So these devils, they can't understand what's really going on, man. They're not understanding why this is happening. Why is this happening to us? Right? They can't get with it. It's not registering. They're not understanding that the Lord is bringing judgment on you devils, man. Right? So it says, let me read that again. Luke 21 and 25, it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. So the signs in the sun, you got the eclipse, you got, uh many other things going on with the sun. Some people saying they seeing two suns and things like that, which those are chariots. It says, and in the moon, you got the blood moons. You have many blood moons, right? More than usual, right? It says, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. Verse 26, men's hearts, meaning their minds, failing them for fear, right? So these people are in fear, right? In their minds, they can't get it off their minds, right? It's everywhere. I don't want to watch the news because it's too depressing. It's going to make me depressed and stressed, right? It says, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, man. And those powers of heaven, these are the leaders that rule this kingdom, the wicked, right? They are in fear as well. They are being shaken, man. They're trembling because they know that the judgment of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, is on their ass, man. Right? Let's continue.
And I know it's really hard for people in other countries to see what's going on here and not be like, what are you doing? And I get that because I say that every day. But we're faced with the most powerful military on the planet. And I have no doubt that the guy at the helm would turn it on us. And they may follow those orders. I don't know. I just feel like it's about to get really bad. And I just needed a place to say that. So I just hope everyone is safe and that we get through this somehow. I don't know.
Hey, so yeah, these devils, they in fear. They're in fear, man. Don't think that they're not in fear. They can't sleep. Some of them get high out of their minds trying to cope because these devils, the Lord said that they wouldn't feel ease, right, in their spirits. Here it is. These devils had everything, man. They had everything. They had the fatness of the earth, right? They had the fatness of the earth. They still have the fatness of the earth. And all they did with it was just bring chaos, murder, death, destruction, stress, depression, all that, man. So they got to pay for that. This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 4. It says, now this is speaking about our people, right? This is speaking about our people, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. What should you be doing in this time? Which is, where should your attention be? Right? What should be your main priority? Seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, your power. Jeremiah 30 and verse 4. It says, and these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, the northern and southern kingdom. It says, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Because that's not what's coming. Peace is not coming. Fear is. Destruction is. It says, Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Right? It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins? This is the time we're coming into. All this BSing and rapping and trying to get to the bag and being a ladies' man and all that. That shit is, it's not gonna benefit you, man, in these last days. It says, whether do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces shall be turned into paleness, man. Fear. You ever seen somebody scared, man? They get white, they turn white, right? Their face get real. They got like this look on their eyes, like they got like this look on their face. They're in complete fear, man. That's what's coming on the earth, man. Right? There's nothing you can do to get yourself out of it. I see what our people are doing all over social media, man, and it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial, man. So let's get this last one. We're going to shut it down because these devils, man, they're on their way out. But as for you, Jakes, as for you, Israelites, better get right, man, because, you know, everything you thought was going to save you and everything you thought was going to be your safe place, it's not, man. It's not going to be. Job chapter 20. Job chapter 20 and verse 19. This is for these devils, man. It says, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor. Who's the he? Esau, Edom. Who's the poor? The Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not, right? Everything that this devil destroyed, that our people built up, that he took over and killed our people in the process. The Lord said, because of that, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, meaning he's not going to be at peace. He's going to constantly be in fear. The Lord is going to plague his mind. He's going to plague his spirit, man. To whereas this devil ain't never going to have peace, man, inside. He's always going to be at war. He's going to feel like a fugitive, man, which he is. It says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired, man. And everything he desired is going to be taken from him, man. Everything he desired is going to be ripped from him. And it's going to be taken back the way that he took it. You know? So, hey, man, these devils are on their way out. They feel it. And there's nothing they can do about it. So, you know, in their best interest, they better just say, just live it up for the little bit of time that you got. Because after this is it, man. You're going into slavery. Everything you did is going to be done to you. And we don't care, man. So I'm going to leave it there. Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect was edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Till the next lesson. Shalom.
Faced with the most powerful military on the planet, and I have no doubt that the guy at the helm would turn it on us, and they may follow those orders. I don't know. I just feel like it's about to get really bad, and I just needed a place to say that. So I just hope everyone is safe, and that we get through this somehow. I don't know.